Welcome to the Concrete Industry Management Podcast, brought to you by the National Steering Committee. Today's host, Brian Gallagher, Chair of the National Steering Committee's Marketing Committee, will be talking with Ben Roebuck, Chair of the Auction Committee, about the annual fundraising auction, held in conjunction with the 2026 World of Concrete. In this episode, Ben shares what's in store for the 2026 auction, how you can get involved, and why this event is a game changer for the future of our industry. So let's get started.
Welcome, listeners, to the Concrete Industry Management Auction Kickoff podcast. I'm Brian Gallagher, and I'm the chairman of the CIM Marketing Committee. And today's guest is Ben Roebuck, chair of the CIM Auction Committee.
Hey, Brian, it would take somebody great like you to talk me into doing something like this, because I don't do them often and I have no clue how good this could be. But I believe in you, and more importantly, I believe in the auction. So I'm excited to be here.
Well, great. Thanks, Ben. Well, what is the CIM auction? Why is it important to the industry?
Well, the CIM program is important to the industry, and the auction is the largest fundraiser that we have every year. It's held at World of Concrete in Vegas in January, which is the perfect venue. We have the complete support and have had the complete support of Informa and World of Concrete and Ritchie Brothers. So it's a no-brainer to have an auction there and to do it on a consistent basis. And it goes off very well every year. We're very fortunate.
Well, that's excellent, Ben. Tell us a bit about the CIM program. What is it?
Great question. Concrete Industry Management, or CIM, is a degree in concrete that you can get from 5 universities across the country. We deliberately spread it out because we want to cover multiple. We want to cover every part of the country. The pilot program was at Middle Tennessee State back in 1996, and since we've added Chico State, which is Cal State Chico. We've added Texas State University in San Marcos. We've added New Jersey Institute of Technology in Newark, and our newest program is South Dakota State University, the Jackrabbits in Brookings, South Dakota.
That's excellent. Well, how many people have graduated from the CIM program over the years, and what types of jobs do they do in the industry?
Boy, another good question. Go figure. We have there's 1,700 graduates, plus or minus, since it started in 1996. All 5 schools contribute, including South Dakota State, which should be somewhere in its first graduating class right about now. These are our industry professionals. It's a feeder program like a farm system for baseball. It's our farm system. Last time I heard a statistic, there are 3 jobs waiting on every graduate. I don't know if that's still relevant, but it's pretty obvious that we need to have more graduates because the demand is clearly there. Even in downtimes, the demand is there. So they work in all facets of the industry, from ready mix to suppliers to construction. And they're all very, very proud graduates, and they network very well.
Well, that's excellent. You had mentioned that the CIM auction is a key way that the industry helps fund the programs. Last year's auction raised a record-breaking $2.2 million. What's the goal for this year?
Obviously, it's $2.21 million, but I think we just never know. We do know, but we're very blessed to have overwhelming support from the industry. And we have large items, we have small items, and our donors are very consistent and they're very generous. And obviously, we're hoping to exceed $2 million again this year.
Excellent, excellent. So you're raising the money, you're distributing to the schools. How do the schools use the funds?
One of the things in the travels that you and I have both done to these different schools for different meetings is it's obvious how these schools have embraced our program. It's a unique approach to universities, and even though they support it, we still have to do a lot. We help hire promoters and help pay the school for promoters to go into the high schools and reach out and do outreach into students. This money also goes towards scholarships. So we want to make sure that all of our students have the opportunity to take advantage of it. And you put those 2 things together, plus marketing and other facets of the promotional efforts, and we use every bit of the $2 million.
Well, I can certainly see why there's a need for that. So if you were able to connect the auction to how it strengthens the industry, how would you draw that line? How would you connect the dots?
Well, the industry, we work for a great industry, and most of us have been in it since we started our careers, and we don't leave. We might change companies, but we don't leave. And ways that we can unify ourselves is always a welcome thing for us. And whether it's a trade association meeting or World of Concrete, um, the industry, it brings the industry together. And our donors are grateful. The people that pay for the donations and fund the $2 million are grateful for the program and the opportunities. They'd love to get deals, but more importantly, they want to support the industry. So they do a very good job of participating and on both sides of the equation.
Excellent. So Ben, the auction's been around for a while. It's been going on for a number of years. How do you see it evolving in the future?
Well, that's a great question. And you can see my gray hair and see that my future is not as going to be as long as other people's. But um, we obviously want to grow. We want to evolve and we want to stay fresh. Um, One of the things, each of the 5 schools have patron groups. And one of the ways we can evolve that is to engage more and more patron group participation and not just limiting their involvement to their schools and supporting the school, but supporting the industry as a whole. So we want to get patron groups and we want to get alumni and we want to find more and more industry people because we get overwhelming support from a lot of our industry, but not everybody. And we want to continue to find ways to appeal to those people that aren't participating yet. And that's part of this evolution, in my opinion.
Well, great. So you have an auction coming up in January of 2026 in Las Vegas at the World of Concrete. How can companies get involved? What types of items do companies donate?
Well, my company, Cemex, is one of every of our major cement producers in the industry that donate loads every year. Flash, Admix. We have donors that donate trips and software packages and electronics and you name it, it's there. We get a lot of non-industry participation in our auction, we've discovered. So there's something for everybody. We have 2 auctions. We have a live auction at the World of Concrete, obviously, that Ritchie Brothers hosts for us and does a great job with their own platforms, doing outreach for us in addition to our own outreach and our own marketing efforts. And then we have a silent auction that begins at some point prior to the live auction. It ends right before the live auction. There's usually a couple hundred items donated. There's usually about 60 items in the live auction and the remainder's in the silent. And it's a very simple process. Even I can do it. So you go on the webpage for the Concrete Industry Management Program at concretedegree.com. And our great marketing team that you lead finds a way to make sure that it's real simple for everybody to do. And again, if I can do it, anybody can.
Well, that's great. You are correct. The web address is concretedegree.com. And on the website, you can easily go over to the auction tab. You'll see a lot of information that's available about the auction historically. There's also donor forms. There's also a list of items that were donated last year for folks to get an idea. And there's also some resources for those companies that are looking to promote their involvement in the CIM auction. Well, Ben, that's great information. Great information for those that want to get involved in the auction and those that want to help advance the industry. So I do thank you for taking some time today. And is there anything else you'd like to share with our listeners?
I talked about our donors and I mentioned the various items, but I'd be remiss, Brian, if I didn't highlight our major donors. Alliance Pump and Kenworth have worked together, have started participating 2 or 3 years ago and have made a colossal difference. Mac and now Revolution have been a mainstay for years, and now Contact and Peterbilt have joined in, which we greatly appreciate. We're constantly trying to find more and more trucks and more unique things like that. Samaro donates a screed every year that's very popular. And those are our 4 anchors, and I'd be remiss if I didn't point them out. we appreciate everything they do.
Well, that's great. That's great that the folks in the industry are able to contribute and help really pay it forward and help invest in students that are going to be future leaders of the industry and ultimately those that are sitting in our seats in a few years. So the industry is in good hands. Thank you for your leadership and thank you for everything you do. And we're looking forward to another successful auction in January.
Brian, you're bold for inviting me. And I appreciate how gentle you've been, and thank you for all you do for the program.
All right. Thank you. That's Ben Roebuck, Chair of the CIM Auction Committee. Again, concretedegree.com. Go to the auction site to get some more information on the CIM auction. Thank you for your time today.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the Concrete Industry Management Auction Podcast. We hope you're as excited as we are about the 2026 CIM auction at World of Concrete. Whether you're donating, bidding, or spreading the word, your support makes a real difference. Stay tuned for more updates as we get closer to the big day, and don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and X for the latest news and sneak peeks at the incredible items up for auction.